Hello, this is Chaneta, author of How to Have This and That. My topic today is believe that all things are possible to God. Excerpts are taken from Neville Goddard's All Things Are Possible. Whatever you honestly believe, you will experience it as your reality. We are told that whatever we believe, it will be manifested in our lives. If you believe that all things are possible to God and therefore possible to you, and that you can be what you want to be, and all you have to do is to believe, and it shall be done as you believe. Can you believe? Think about that. Persist in that assumption, that is, the assumption that what you want is already yours, because if you do, your assumption will harden into fact. The same thing applies to the life you now live. You have assumed the life you now live, and no one can change it but yourself. You have the power to lay it down by no longer being conscious of it, and the power to pick it up again through a different state of consciousness and experience a different reality. What consciousness are you living from today? Think about that. What consciousness are you manifesting? Poverty or prosperity, health or ill health, happiness or depression, fear or fearlessness, negative or positive? The choice is yours. So how do you change from the state you're living from right now, the state of consciousness you're living from, to another state, to where you want to be, from where you want to live from? You assume your wish fulfilled through the sense of feeling and believing that your prayers are already answered. That assumption, subjectively appropriated and believed to be true, is faith. Knowing that all things are possible to those who believe, can you persuade yourself that although your reason and senses deny it, your assumption will make it so? I know sometimes things seem dire and impossible. It's hard to have faith sometimes. But remember that all things are possible to him who believes, and with God, all things are possible. Can you believe? I challenge you to examine yourself. Are you holding to the state you desire to experience? I have tested this for myself and found it to be true. That is, if I hold to my new state of consciousness, feeling I'm already experiencing a more empowering life and believing it to be true, it manifests as my reality. Take my word for it and test it for yourself, and you will know that this is true. Neville said, I'm not saying it's easy, but it becomes easier with practice, like everything else. If I gave you an expensive violin and you could master the violin, you could play that would lift everybody to the 9th degree of joy. But if I took that same violin and gave it to somebody else who couldn't play it and didn't have any clue, he will shortly drive you insane. It's the same violin, but one brings harmony while the other brings discord. You kill and you make alive out of the same instrument, which is your own wonderful imagination. You may make many discords until you learn how to play, but that's all right. Keep practicing until you can play, and you will be happy with the results. Magic will happen. You may not know anyone right now who gave you $10,000, but if you believe that all things are possible, you can imagine you have the money, feel you have the money, persist in your belief, and you will have it. How do I know this? I only know that according to your belief, it will be done unto you. And you can watch my video on how I manifested $10,000. And of course, you can manifest anything you want. Do you believe that all things are possible to God? Do you really? But I tell you, your own wonderful human imagination can imagine all and everything. It can imagine the good, the bad, and the ugly. It is a powerful tool you have at your disposal to create what you like. But while learning to use your imagination, you may make alive that which you do not want. You may wound yourself in the process. But what you create in your imagination, you can uncreate. Be AAC, awake, aware, and conscious, so that you can consciously and purposely create the things that you do want and be the person that you do want. Everything can be resolved, even though while learning, horrible mistakes may take place. Don't condemn yourself for anything you have ever done, are doing, or may do. Because as you learn to play the instrument of your creative imagination, things will happen. And you'll get better with practice. Remember, you can create and uncreate at any time. Nobody's stopping you except you. Don't give your power away to the outside. Tap into that God power, that inner power. It's time for you to believe that all things are possible to God, and therefore all things are possible to you. Again, stop giving your power away. You may have no education, no money, or social background, and find it difficult to believe in yourself. But because all things are possible to him who believes, and with God all things are possible, you can go outside of your senses and believe anything into being. Test your imagination. And if it proves itself in performance, what does it matter what the world thinks? Say, I am secure, I am wealthy, I'm free, I'm healthy, I am loved. This may not be true right now based on what you see around you and your senses, but I'm simply asking you to say the words for the moment. For the moment you say the words, you are subjectively appropriating security, wealth, health, and freedom. Reason will try to take this from you and say, oh, it can't be true. But just continue to play the game. Believe that. Walk to the door right now. Let's play this game as if you're already secured, wealthy, healthy, and free. Sleep this night as though it's true. If you do, you will not fall asleep tonight the same as you did last night. You will see it differently. Tomorrow morning will be different for you, because somebody tomorrow morning may give you a check for $20,000, and if you deposit it in your account, you will be $20,000 richer. Therefore, you could not sleep this night as you did last night, because you're $20,000 richer. But you don't have to physically wait for this to happen. Just go to bed believing you already have that $20,000. Put Christ to the test. If all things are possible to God, and all things are possible to the believer, can you believe? I'm not saying you will succeed the first night, or even the second or the third, etc. Depends on your faith. Having been trained to accept only what your reason and senses dictate, you may find it difficult, almost impossible to believe what you could believe, but you can believe, because all things are possible to God, and you know that's true. So play that part. Play the part that you're already rich and healthy, and you're the man you want to be, you're the woman you want to be, you're wealthier than you were 24 hours ago. It's only a part. You can play any part you want, any part you desire, and stay in that part until it manifests. So do you believe that all things are possible to God? If you do, then you know that you can have this and that. Isn't it wonderful? Yes, it is. Yes, you can have this and that. I know you can. This is Chaneta, author of How to Have This and That. Thank you for buying my books on Amazon.com. Before you go, do this for me. I would like you to subscribe to my YouTube channel below and invite others to do the same. Click like and share with other people. Follow me on Facebook, Chaneta V. Cummings Lewis, and my fan page, Health, Wealth, and Time Freedom. And Instagram is also Health, Wealth, and Time Freedom. Be AAC, awake, aware, and conscious. Yes, you can have this and that. Health, wealth, and time freedom, all at the same time. Isn't it wonderful? Yes, it is. Thank you for being a part of my world where all things are possible.